up junta, building better Africa.
Peaceful elections, and to congratulate you, Your Excellency, on your election as Malawi's 7th President. Honourable Minister George Chiponda, Minister for Foreign Affairs, thank you for your warm welcome to Malawi on Friday, and it's a pleasure to see you again today. And may I say all other protocols observed. This is my first visit to Malawi, Your Excellency, a visit that I was determined personally to undertake as First Minister, to see at first hand the merits and the impact of the Scottish Government's investment in and support and solidarity for Malawi. I'm clear that all countries have a duty to contribute to the international community, but the relationship between Scotland and Malawi is particularly significant for all of us. A relationship built on 150 years of shared history, yet a relationship which we have strived to modernise to one of shared goals and true partnership for the 21st century. My visit is all the more timely in that this is the 20th anniversary year of the signing of the original cooperation agreement between our two governments in November 2005, which formalised the partnership between Malawi and Scotland at governmental level. Your Excellency, our cooperation agreement was then updated in April 2018 when you visited Scotland, putting into place a new modern Global Goals Partnership Agreement, which you signed as President during your visit to Edinburgh with my predecessor, Nicola Sturgeon. The breadth and the depth of our partnership means that we have a lot to talk about today. In particular, I'm keen to update you on our health, inclusive education and equalities programming, and on hearing your reflections on this at this compelling juncture in our partnership. But first, if I may offer some reflections as we mark 20 years since the cooperation agreement between Scotland and Malawi was first signed. Scotland truly values the strength of our friendship with Malawi. As we know, it is a relationship rooted in history, but it's one based on shared values. It is also inherently modern and innovative. And I'm clear that the relationship our countries hold is of the utmost importance to me personally, as it is to the country that I have the privilege to serve. Through my visit, I'm committed to further deepening that relationship and to ensuring that it is a modern partnership based on true solidarity between Scotland and Malawi. Your Excellency, in my short time in your country, I've met incredibly dedicated staff at Kamuzu University for Health Sciences and seen firsthand the vital research being carried out at the state-of-the-art Blantyre lab. It is a powerful testament to what can be achieved when ambition, partnership and purpose come together. Research by Africans, in Africa, for Africa. One of the most joyful moments of my time in Malawi was meeting the bright, newly graduated young dentist at KUHES yesterday, Malawi's first cohort of homegrown dentists. Through our Maldent project to set up the first dental school in Malawi, it represents a key contribution to the future of oral health here in Malawi. I've also met communities in Zomba who are taking control of their livelihoods thanks to support from our Climate Justice Fund. This has increased my resolve to continue to make the case for the need to scale up good quality climate finance, including finance for loss and damage, to meet commitments made under the Paris Agreement. I've also witnessed varied and vivid demonstrations of the civic connections that unite Malawi and Scotland, from the St Michael and All Angels Church to the historic Mandala House, to the warm tales of Scotland and Malawians kindly shared with me over the course of the last few days. And yesterday I met with investment partners in our Malawi investment initiative at Mandala House, with the Malawi National Development Bank and St Andrews Macadamia Farm. This supports your determination, Your Excellency, to move Malawi from aid to trade. Our work together our partnership continues to change lives and to transform communities in Malawi and Scotland alike. There is still, of course, work to do, and I am very committed to ensuring that Scotland plays its part as we make a journey addressing the challenges that face the people of Malawi, but bringing our values together in the pursuit of equality and human rights for all. In closing, Your Excellency, I wish to convey once again my thanks to you for your kind invitation to visit Malawi, and my thanks to all in your government, to the ministers present and to the United Kingdom government represented here by the High Commissioner, who have helped to facilitate my visit. It is an honour and a privilege to visit your country and to engage closely with our partners in the government of Malawi. I want to take this opportunity to again assure you that Scotland remains wholly committed to investing in and indeed growing its unique relationship with Malawi, a relationship that I heard about as a child through the example of the work of Dr. David Livingstone, educated in the work that he undertook in Scottish schools, and appreciating the significance and the respect that he held for the people of Malawi, and that is a respect that I reciprocate today. I look forward to our work being focused together in health, education, equalities, renewable energy and climate justice, with sustainable economic growth and well-being in Malawi, our shared goal. My intent is that my visit here this week helps to cement our relationship further beyond the 20 years that we are currently marking into the future, and that Scotland and Malawi continue to work together to ensure that we have an innovative and forward-looking relationship founded in the depth of our historical connections, but yet committed to the great potential of future growth and to working together to advance the interests of the people of Malawi and Scotland together. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Your Excellency. It is now my pleasure, Your Excellency, to call upon Your Excellency for your remarks or response to the speech. Thank you.
Right, Honorable Minister Sweeney, your delegation, my delegation, and all distinguished people in this room. First of all, I think, matter of disclosure, I must say that some of us, certainly me, and I think Honorable Chaponda too, we do our schools in the Churchill School and the mission schools. During the old days, or the primary schools were run by either Catholics or Churchill Scotland. So we learned there, and I think our parents were baptized in the Church of Scotland, and so we have a long history of connection between ourselves at a personal level and also to the people of Scotland, and you always feel at home when we're in Scotland. We really do. So I'm very, very glad that you have come here at this time, and I appreciate that you are coming here so early. We're only 14 days old, and the government, we are still trying to establish the government and the systems. Not yet ready, and we really appreciate you coming to encourage us, to exchange with us ideas about democracy, about development, as we move the challenge facing this country. This country is facing serious challenges. You probably know. I knew there were challenges looking from outside, but when we went inside and saw the books, we said we really do have challenges, real challenges. I think things have got as bad as they can be. They can't get worse. There's no way they can get worse than they are. So we are facing those challenges. In 2014, when I came back from opposition then, face hunger and fundamentals, macroeconomic fundamentals were quite poor. We managed within a period of 9 months to a year to certainly reduce hunger to the extent that no single person died of hunger. And we were able to reduce interest rates to 1 digit, and also interest rates 1 digit, and inflation now is very high, and we have a real challenge ahead of us. So we have identified what we call the 4 fours. That is forex, fertilizer, fuel, and food. There are 4 key things that we are going to do immediately at the moment. And on the food issue, we already sourced maize from Zambia. In 2 weeks, we should have completed all the financing arrangements, and we hope to have the food here rolling into Malawi, 2,100 metric tons. And that should deal with the immediate problems of hunger. The second is now a short-term fertilizer, to make sure that we get fertilizer on time. At the moment, it looks like the rain may come anytime. So if we just have got to be ready, it can come now, November, December, even as late as January, but we can't take a chance. It can be any time. So we're getting ready, my ministry and all the officials are working very hard to source fertilizer. This time, not from butcheries, as we did before, but this time it will be from the real sources, from real fertilizer factories. And so we'll do that, and we'll work that. Now, once we have done that, and those are short term, then we have to deal with the forex situation. The forex is an immediate situation. We have to deal with it immediately, obviously. But to deal with that, in a way, it's a vicious cycle. We need production and manufacturing. I remember I was at a panel in our country, actually in London, at the UK-Africa Summit. So we're talking about the African free market and how we can take advantage of it. And so I think it was Kagame, myself, and Conde from Guinea. So on the panel, and Minister Grant, Helen Grant. And we're talking, so when they came to me and said, what plans do you have to take advantage of the African common market? I said, I don't have any plans. So they said, why? I said, I have no plans, I have nothing to sell. If I'm not manufacturing anything, if I'm not making anything, I cannot sell anything on that market, and that's the truth. We are simply not producing. And therefore, to talk about markets and non-tariff barriers and all those things is fine, but you have got to be able to manufacture first. So we're going to that next stage of manufacturing, both agricultural products but also minerals. We want to add value here. We are planning to stop all these artisanal miners. We are planning to stop any kind of exportation. I know there's corruption there. Exportation. Make sure that the big guys enter also the market, that these minerals are processed here, and then they're sent in some kind of processed form to where they're going to be huge amounts of minerals. I was talking to the company from Australia. I think Shell alone, Kankakude, yes, they have enough minerals, rare earth of high quality to last 100 years. And at Cassia, Central Region, rutile, graphite, to last about 60 years. If only those two were exploited and processed domestically, we have enough money to create a sovereign fund to run this country as Norway did. As you know, Norway was a very poor country until they discovered oil, and they created a sovereign fund, and Norway is now one of the richest countries, highest per capita in Europe. And that's the direction we should be going. So manufacturing, and I took the unconventional step of creating a new ministry of industrialization, business, trade, and tourism. Because they're all together. They all are supposed to bring in revenue in this country, foreign exchange, and I put a very distinguished private sector person who has been head of one of, I think, the largest bank in this country for many, many years, but also was heading a conglomerate of 24 companies called Press Corporation. This is one of Kamuzu Banda's companies. He left and assigned him with probably the most crucial assignment, and that is to make sure that we produce. And of course, once we go into production, then we need to go into long term. Long term, obviously, things like infrastructure. You probably have, I guess you have traveled from the airport to here, and the road is quite good from the airport to here. But if we went to the other side, you find the road not so good. And that creates a bottleneck for economic development, because people cannot move their goods quickly enough to the market. So we want to improve the road system, but more particularly in 2017, my government introduced a national road plan. That plan tries to shift transportation from road to rail and water lake. We have a lake here with 365 miles from here all the way to Karonga, and you can use that for heavy volumes. And of course the rail transportation to Mozambique, Nakala for oil, huge rail. It's also economical. I think it costs us half whatever quantity, half the cost if we use rail. And of course, the roads will always continue their own way. So this is our plan. That's a long plan, improve the infrastructure. And possibly we hope to have also air transport. When I was here last time, we're negotiating with Emirates for daily flights, and also the government of Turkey. We negotiated for flights to Malawi, commercial flights. We have one cargo plane that comes once a week from Dubai to here, and that's helpful. But we want to do more because our location is very attractive in this region. It could be a substation for the rest of Southern Africa. So we need to do that, and we need to integrate more with our neighbors. For example, you don't fly to Mozambique directly. If you want to go to Mozambique, which is right here, you have to go to Johannesburg first, and then fly from there to Maputo. Takes almost 5 hours, depending on the connections. If you flew directly, it will be less than 2 hours from Blante to Maputo. So we need to improve our transportation there and communication agreement. And in that extent, for example, we are where they have the interconnection with Mozambique. We'll be buying electricity from Mozambique. At the moment, 20 increased to 50. Actually, it was started by my brother, and then he left, and then the World Bank left, and we instituted it around 2016, and we didn't try to complete it. And unfortunately, the present government continued with it, and they're almost completed now. I think the president of Zambia was telling me anytime, I think this year probably, that it will be ready to roll. Initially 50 megawatts, but probably more. And the Northern Line made possible by MCC, Miami Change the Corporation. We need to take a line all the way to Tanzania, so that we also take advantage of electricity from East African Power Pool, so we can buy from East Africa, but also from Mozambique. Mozambique and South Africa, Mozambique. Now, if our power plant improves, we also can sell them. So it's a win-win for everybody. So in the energy area, we're looking also at those kinds of things. So we have a lot of ideas that we want to put on the table. The problem is always, of course, resources, but there are, I think, institutions of goodwill. The Paramanja Gorge on the lake, I'm sorry, on the river, as we come from Rongo to Brant, at the river here, about 30 miles from here, there is a new power plant which will be using water. Not coal. The coal plant was shut down, but nobody's going to find coal anymore. That's a no-no. So that was closed at Kamwamba. They're talking about water, but also electricity, solar to power plant. That's I only heard about it last week when I met one of the Chinese. I didn't know there was such a thing as solar to power generation at that level. I didn't know, but apparently it can happen. So we'll be looking into that also. So we have a whole range of areas for which we need assistance. Now, when I was in Scotland last time on a state visit, I had a long discussion with Madam Nicola Sturgeon, the former First Minister, and that resulted on a power program. As you know, Scotland has one of the best water management programs in the world, so they're going to help us with water management, which is also an important thing here. Yeah. In spite of the fact of our lake, but water is a challenge, so they're going to help us with that, send the experts to teach us how to do it. And I think it's being done. And I know we talked about in Edinburgh at the University of Strathclyde, we talked about a dental school, and now it has started. The first cohort has just graduated this year. So there's progress, very positive progress with your country, and we appreciate that very much. So we hope that can continue. Let me stop here. I've talked too much. Let me stop here and hear your response and response from the others here.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I think some of the it's very good to hear of the plans that you have and the ambitious plans to strengthen the situation in Malawi and to address what you acknowledge yourself as some of the deep challenges the country faces. What I would want to make clear is that there is a willing engagement from Scotland to work with you in that respect. So in some of the projects that we are taking forward already around education, around water and water management are crucial. I saw some excellent work on Saturday in Zomba, where imaginative schemes using solar power to create water irrigation schemes by pumping from groundwater was helping to strengthen agricultural production within the community. So it was very directly helping individuals. There are so many other areas in which you cited the example of the dental students, and that is a source of real achievement from our partnership agreement, whereby the Kamuzu University is now leading a program for dental training, and that first cohort are now ready to deploy their skills in the population in Malawi. And I met the graduates yesterday, and they are full of energy, and many of them, of course, have spent time in Scotland as part of an exchange program, learning about the skills within our dental schools in Scotland. And of course, as you said, the deep bonds of connection around education are well founded from your own experience and those of Mr. Chaponda, but also in terms of the volume of education that's carried out by institutions in Scotland that are supporting the work of people in Malawi. So there is a very significant number of steps that have been taken that cement that cooperation and that joint activity. I think one of the areas which is of particular interest is how...
Excuse me. At this session, at this time, we would like to go into closed session. So we request the press to leave in order that we can go into... But we'll go into the photo session, and we'll go now into a closed session where certain things which are now being talked, we can go in greater detail. Sorry, Your Excellency.
We'll come back for closing session.
Yes, but we go into the photo session and then go back into the closed session where the First Minister will continue. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Now, this is the end of the photo session. Now we are entering to the closed session, so the media can take leave until later when you can interview the First Minister after the closed session. Thank you.
Club Junta, building better Africa.